Hi, this is Joey. We're starting a new series of Flutterbys about introduction to quilting. This is for people who have not quilted before and want to know what they need to do to get started. So I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of the supplies that you would need to get in order to get started in quilting. First, you're going to need a cutting mat. This is crucial so that you don't slice up whatever surface you're cutting on. And you need a rotary cutter. Now, before I started quilting, I had never even heard of a rotary cutter. So this is something that you might not be familiar with. I would have tried to cut all of my fabric with scissors, and that is not going to work very well because the fabric is going to get stretched all out of shape. So the way you use your rotary cutter is you lay the fabric down on the mat, you open the blade, and you just roll the blade along the fabric. It's much easier than trying to cut your fabric with scissors. You, of course, need a ruler or a few rulers. We have a whole variety of rulers here at Birdsong, so come in and look at them. But as a basic, you want to have a basic square ruler or a rectangular ruler that you can use to cut straight lines. You're going to need needles. Now, if you are hand sewing, which some people still do, you obviously would need hand sewing needles. These are machine sewing needles because most people now quilt on their machine. And you would need a sewing machine. Let's go ahead and put that out there. Sewing machine. Make sure you get extra needles so that you can replace them often. You will damage your sewing machine if you do not replace your needles periodically. Thread, of course, we have thread to thread the sewing machine and sew with it, and pins. And then unfortunately you are definitely going to need a seam ripper. So this is a seam ripper. If I can get it open, there we go. It has a point on it so that you can pick out stitches. This is what you use if you make a mistake, which is going to happen a lot when you first start sewing, so don't be concerned. Some people call it unsewing. It's just something that all quilters have to get used to. You're going to need to rip out some seams from time to time. And then fabric. We have a ton of fabric here at the store. I'm sure if you've watched our Flutterbys, you've seen quite a few pieces of fabric. So come in and pick out your favorite fabrics and sew them together, and you can get started. This is a very basic piece, just squares sewn together. Anybody could go home and do this today. So if this looks cute to you, come into Birdsong, get some basic supplies and get started, and we can walk you through how to quilt your masterpieces today.